Growing up in school, I always hated studies. In fact, I hated studies with a passion. It was something that I was forced to do, something which was a chore. But something changed when I was in class 10th. And that was that for the first time, I started to like study. Now, why was that? Because for the first time, I was forced to get out of my comfort zone. And I had to make an effort, a genuine effort to start studying. As I started studying, I found how wonderful it is. Consciously, I never knew that I was starting to like study, but unconsciously, I started to feel towards it. And that's what happened with programming. Like when I started Leetcode, at first, it was really treacherous. I was bored because I wasn't able to solve even a single question. But as I kept at it, as time went on, I started to love the process. I found how fun it could be. I remembered that in school in maths how I would solve a pair of questions and I would feel that instant dopamine after solving a question. Solving that same question in programming was just as stimulating. I found my brain riled up after just solving a question because to my primal brain it didn't know that I had solved just a question. It felt like I had done something greater, and that's why I started to love competitive programming because it's really addictive. If you ask most competitive programmers why they do CP, they will give the same answer because it's highly addictive. Why? Because the feedback loop, the positive reward cycle is very fast. Instead of other pursuits like having or like being a writer or being an artist, being a mangaka, like need to all these pursuits take a lot of time before you actually get good at them, and as a result, you don't experience that fast positive loop. But in competitive programming, it's like for every question you solve, you get that positive loop once again, and it's very fast. Like if I were to give you an example in writing, I feel that positive loop when after a day's worth of writing I had done, and that's when I feel that oh, today I did 2 hours of writing, and after doing that writing, now I feel great because I took everything out of me. But if you are doing CP, if you solved 4 questions that day, then that 4 questions spiked your dopamine again and again. Like first this, then you did the second question, then again this, then you did the third question, and against this. So the feedback loop is very fast. The second thing I learned was the importance of problem solving regularly. The importance of problem solving regularly. Activities like writing, content creation, drawing can help the brain learn to innovate. But innovation in a capable mind is what produces something great, right? Innovation in a dumb mind creates nothing, or it creates worse, it creates garbage. But innovation in a capable mind creates something really great. And you can see this pattern reappear in history from time to time again. Elon Musk, when he was a kid, was a sponge. He used to read lots and lots of books. Paul Dirac, the founder of Telegram, was the same. And so are many of the history's greatest entrepreneurs. They were vocacious readers. And you can take CP in such a way as well. Like you can take CP in the same context because in this you are increasing your raw ability to compute. You are understanding your logic building as you go because if you can't solve a problem and you just see the editorial, you won't learn anything. It's the process of taking a problem, not being able to understand it, first understanding it, then thinking of some of the general approach which you think might work, then brute forcing your way through the solution, then experiencing a time limit exceeded TLE, then again optimizing the problem, then you are still not able to do it, then banging your head against the wall and doing all of this, which helps you to increase your raw compute ability, which helps you to increase your problem solving ability, which then later when you write essays like I do, the process feels much more simpler of writing because you know that you have been through this in just a different industry. If you don't get on board, just wait for it and relax, because the solution will come. And if it doesn't come, then you can obviously chat GPT it, right? The third thing I learned was the importance of giving weekly contests, because contests give you your reality in the most accurate way. In a contest, you can't cave in. In real life, when you're solving questions, you many of the time we don't have the willpower to persist and we cave in and we see the editorial and we say that okay, this problem is ticked. But in a contest, we can't do that. It judges us only on one thing, that if you solve the problem in the given period of time, it never lets us off the hook by saying that I almost solved the problem, or oh, I wasn't able to see this one test case. It never allows us to say this and go unnoticed. It always gives us a brutal check of reality. And this is what helped me the most. Like, I'm one of the few people who have the worst lead code contest ratings in the world. It's shameful, but I still try to give as many lead code contests as possible, because they tell me that even after doing 200 lead code questions, I'm still shit. And it enrages me, but it also teaches me that I need to practice more, I need to learn more, I need to understand more, I need to persist more. The fourth thing which I learned was that how important maintaining a streak really is. People think of maintaining streaks as vain, but I have the opposite case. Just a few days apart, like 12 to 13 days earlier, I started doing daily LeetCode questions, and it drastically changed my opinion towards LeetCode, because when I can visibly see the streak icon that I have done. I've maintained my streak for 10 days straight. It's visible, it's not vague, it's not something which I tell myself. It's there for everyone to see. Then I get this additional sense of motivation to also complete today's task, today's daily question. Why? Because I did it yesterday also, and I did it day before yesterday also, and I did it day before yesterday. So I need to do it today to maintain that streak. Humans learn to repeat. Universe loves homeostasis. Yeah, homeostasis. So the fifth thing is that, which is fairly simple point, but it's important, that the solution isn't the answer. The pattern is. The solution isn't the answer. The pattern is. Many times I am the dumb kid. Like, many times I solved a problem only to forget how I did it later and then get stuck on a problem which is similar to that. And that's something which I've struggled with. And the reason that I wasn't able to do this for a long period of time was because I was understanding the solution, not the pattern. In every question, like in most 90% of the cases, 90% of the questions, there is some underlying pattern in it, and we have to understand that pattern in order to solve that question. So if we are not able to solve that particular question, instead of remembering it that okay, this question I wasn't able to solve, we have to understand and remember it, like this is the certain pattern that I wasn't able to understand. Like, for example, instead of thinking that you weren't able to solve this question, you must think that, oh, this question was about prefix sum, so I need to practice around 10 questions of prefix sum so that I understand that this pattern, what type of question come in these patterns, and how do I need to work with them. And same thing is for recursion, same thing is for backtracking, same thing is for DP, same thing is for trees. Like, for everything, you have to understand the pattern behind the problem. And if you understand the pattern, then you just have to code it, write a few test cases, and you will be able to do it. So that's what I did. Even after doing 200 lead code questions, I think I'm still starting, and I actually feel very excited to see how much I will improve on this in a year. And yeah, peace.